Welcome back, dear children. So in the last video we have discussed about Newton's first law and definitions for inertia and force. Now we are going to study in detail about inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is the property of a body to continue in its state of rest or motion. Inertia can be divided into two: inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Okay, we are going to discuss examples for this. Inertia can be classified as inertia of rest and inertia of motion. So first we will be discussing examples for inertia of rest, and before that, how can you define inertia of rest? What is the definition for inertia of rest? The tendency of a body to continue in its state of rest can be called as inertia of rest. If a body is at rest, what is its tendency? Its tendency will be to continue in the state of rest, and that is known as inertia of rest. Then what is inertia of motion? The tendency of a body to continue in its state of motion can be called as inertia of motion, isn't it? So, tendency of a body to continue in its state of rest or motion is inertia. If you are considering the tendency to continue in the state of rest, that is inertia of rest. The tendency of a body to continue in its state of motion is inertia of motion. Now, many examples for inertia of rest as well as inertia of motion are given. We'll go to the examples now. Okay. First, we'll be considering examples related to inertia of rest. Now, you're standing on a bus. Okay. In a bus. You're standing inside a bus. Now, it is just the bus stop, and when the bus suddenly starts, what happens? You are standing inside a bus or a train. Normally in the bus will be standing, and when the bus suddenly starts, what happens? We will be leaning backward, isn't it? Have you noticed that? When you are standing on a stationary vehicle and when the vehicle starts, you will be leaning backward. So can you tell me what is the reason for that? Okay, listen. Let me consider myself standing inside the bus. Okay. Now the bus is not moving. So what is the state of my body? I'm in the state of rest. What is the state of the bus? It is also in the state of rest, isn't it? So the body as well as the bus is in the state of rest. Now, when the bus suddenly starts, when the bus moves, what happens? The legs which are in contact with the bus also move. Okay? I'm just standing inside the bus. So when the bus starts moving, my legs are in contact with the floor of the bus, isn't it? So the legs which are in contact with the bus will move. But what is the actual tendency of my body? I was in the state of rest, and the tendency of my body is to continue in the state of rest. Since the legs are in contact with the bus, legs will move with the bus, but the upper portion of the body, tendency of the body is to be at rest itself. So this part will stay there, but the legs will be moving with the bus. And that is the reason why we lean backward. Okay. So is it clear? When you are standing inside a bus, at first the body is in the state of rest. Okay. When the bus starts, the legs which are in contact with the bus will move. But the tendency of the upper part of the body is to continue in the state of rest. So the upper part of the body will remain here. Legs will be moving with the bus. That is why we lean backward. Okay. So is it clear? Now, can you give some other examples for this? Inertia of rest. Just imagine, many things in our day-to-day life can be explained on the basis of this inertia of rest or inertia of motion. When you are playing carom board, normally we will pile up the coins in the center first, isn't it? And with the striker, we'll hit on it. If the striker hits exactly on that lowest coin, only that lowest coin will move and all the other coins will remain there itself. Have you noticed that? First, we'll be piling up the coins. When you're playing carom board, we'll be piling up the coins, and when the striker exactly hits the lowest one or the first coin, that coin alone will move, because all the coins were in the state of rest. Using the striker, we exerted force only on the lowest coin. So that coin will move and all the other coins will remain as such. So the reason is inertia of rest. The coins were in the state of rest, and what is its tendency? Its tendency is to continue in the state of rest itself. Okay. Then, in order to move the dust particles from the carpet, usually what we will do? We'll just take it like this and we'll hit it with the broom or a stick, isn't it? In order to move the dust particles from a carpet, we'll raise the carpet and we'll just hit it on it with the broom or a stick. Then the dust particles will come down. What is the reason for that? Actually, the dust particles are present in the carpet and it is in the state of rest. When you are hitting with the broom or a stick, you are applying force on the carpet. So the carpet will move. But what is the tendency of the dust particles? To remain in its state of rest. So those dust particles will remain there itself. Carpet will be moving to and fro. As a result, what happens? All the dust particles will come down. Okay. Then, when you shake the branch of a tree, the mangoes will fall. Mangoes or any other fruit will fall. What is the reason? You are applying at first the branch as well as the mango. Both are in the state of rest. When you are applying force on the branch, you are exerting force just on the branch of the tree. So the branch will be moving. What happens to the mango? We are not applying any force on the mango. So the tendency of the mango is to remain there itself. So the branch will be moving. Mango will remain there itself. So due to its mass, what happens? The mango will come down. Okay. Now, another example. When when you just take a glass vessel, just keep a small cardboard piece, a small cardboard above that, okay, and above that you can just put a 5 rupee coin. Just a glass vessel, above that a piece of cardboard, and on the center of the cardboard let us keep a 5 rupee coin. Why did I keep 5 rupee coin? Because its mass is more. Now, if you just flick on this cardboard, what happens? The cardboard will fly away. What happens to the coin? The coin will fall on the glass. What is the reason here? Both the coin as well as the cardboard are in the state of rest. So their tendency is to continue in the state of rest itself. When I exerted force on the cardboard, I just exerted force only on the cardboard. So with that force, the cardboard will fly away. But I didn't exert any force to the coin. So the tendency of the coin is to remain stationary there itself. If now, since the cardboard moves away, what happens? The coin directly falls on the glass. Okay. So many examples can be said from our day-to-day life for inertia of rest or inertia of motion. Another example given in your textbook is about corridor trains. Have you heard about corridor trains? The specialty of corridor train is there you will be having a special corridor. What is corridor? Veranda. So we will be having a special corridor to move from one compartment to another. In usual train, through the center we will be moving, isn't it? In corridor train, a special corridor will be there to move from one compartment to the other. So in the case of corridor trains, when it moves, what happens is it will be having the sliding windows. Okay, sliding doors, not windows, sliding doors will be there for this corridors. So when the train start moving, what happens is these sliding doors will get open. Okay, in the case of corridor trains, when it starts moving, the sliding doors gets opened. So what happens here actually? At first, the train was in the state of rest, so the door was also in the state of rest. When it starts moving, the frame of the door which is in contact with the floor of the train will move. But what happens to the sliding door? Its tendency is to continue in the state of rest. So what happens is it moves in the opposite direction. Okay, in the case of a person standing inside the bus, and when the bus starts, I told you the body will be leaning backward. Same thing happens. The frame which is in contact with the floor of the train will be moving, and the sliding door, tendency of the sliding door is to be in the state of rest itself. So it will be moving in the opposite direction so that it gets opened. Okay. So all these things are examples of inertia of rest. I hope it's clear for you. Now the next one is about inertia of motion. What is inertia of motion? The tendency of a body to continue in its state of motion can be called as inertia of motion. So next we will be considering examples for inertia of motion. First thing, when you are pedaling a cycle. So when you apply force on the pedal, then only the cycle will move. Once you stop pedaling, what happens? Will the cycle stop? No. It will move for some more distance and then only it will come to stop. Isn't it? So what is the reason there? What was the state of the cycle? Motion. By applying force on the pedal, the cycle was moving, and so the tendency of the cycle is to continue its motion. So once you stop pedaling, that means once you stop applying force, then also it will continue its motion. But after moving for a short distance, it stops. Why? Because of friction exerted by the ground. Okay. So it's an example for inertia of motion. Is it clear? So when you are applying, in order to create motion, what is needed? A force has to be applied. So by applying force on the pedal, the cycle will be moving. When you stop pedaling, you stopped applying the force, but still the cycle will move. Because the tendency of the cycle is to continue its motion. And after moving for a short distance, it comes to rest. The reason is friction between the tire and the ground. Now, another example. You are standing inside a bus. The bus was moving, and suddenly if the driver applies the brake, what happens? All will lean forward, isn't it? At first, you will be standing quite there, but when the driver applies the brake, all the people standing there, including not only standing, those who are sitting also will lean forward. So what is the reason there? At first, the bus was moving, that is, it is in the state of motion, and our body is also in the state of motion with the bus. So when the driver applies the brake, bus stops. Together, that means what happens? Bus came to the state of rest. Together with that, the legs, our legs which are in contact with the bus, stops. But what about the upper part of our body? Earlier it was moving. Its tendency is to continue its motion. So the lower part of the body which is in contact with the bus will stop, but the upper part of the body will continue its motion. That is why we lean forward. Okay. So you can notice these things when you travel in a bus. So when a moving vehicle stops, a person sitting or standing on it will lean forward. The reason is the entire body is in motion with the bus. When the bus stops, the lower part of the body which is in contact with the bus stops, but the upper part of the body will continue its motion due to inertia. Okay. Now, another one. Have you seen people jumping out of the running bus or running train? Have you noticed? And what are they doing once they step out of the bus? When a person moves out or jumps out of a running bus, have you noticed that that person will run with the bus for a short distance and then only he will come to rest? Please don't do that, okay? Don't jump out of a moving bus. I just gave an example. So, have you noticed this? When a person jumps out of a moving bus, he will run a short distance with the bus. So, do you know what is the reason? Bus was moving and the person inside the bus was also moving. That is, the body is in motion. When he jumps out suddenly and when he stops, he will fall. The reason is the body was actually moving with the bus. That is, the state of the body was motion, and suddenly we cannot make the body to be in rest. So what happens? The body is in the state of motion. So when he jumps out, he will run for a short distance so that the body gets balanced, and then he will stop. Okay. So the tendency of the body is to continue its motion. So after jumping out and suddenly if you stop there, surely you will fall. But when you run for a short distance and stop, means we won't fall, because at first the body was in the state of motion, and after coming out of the bus also, when you are running, means our body can withstand that. Clear? Now, the next example. Again, what can we say? Yeah, in the case of long jump. So, long jump, it is just jumping, but there we have to run for a short distance and then only we will jump, isn't it? We have running race competition, but again in the case of long jump also we will be running for a short distance before taking the jump. Can you tell me what is the reason there? The reason is when you suddenly jump, you cannot cover much distance because our body is in the state of rest. So suddenly when you're moving to motion means, rest to motion means it is difficult. So when you run, your body will be in the state of motion. So it will be easier to take a jump. Okay. So is it clear? Then another example given in your textbook is when you are throwing a ball vertically upward in a moving train or a moving vehicle, it will come to your hand itself. What is the reason? Train is moving, the air present inside the train is moving, and yourself is moving with that, isn't it? So naturally what happens? The ball will come back to your hand. Have you noticed that? Here, now I am in the state of rest. If I throw something, I can take a catch here. Same thing happens when we are inside a running train. Because the train is running, together with that ourselves we will be moving with the train. The air inside the train as well as the ball or the body is moving. So we will be getting the catch there. Okay. So we have discussed many examples related to inertia of rest and inertia of motion, and most of these things comes in our day-to-day life, isn't it? So many things can be explained. Many things what we see in nature can be explained on the basis of inertia. So I hope it's clear for you. And children, please don't by heart all these examples. You should know the concept. You should know the reason. Okay. Only that is needed. Now, already I told you no need to write the lecture notes. We need just the question answers. So please take page number 63. Page number 63, exercise 3B. So you can see 21 question answers there. In that, leave question number 21. Because same answer, either inertia of rest or inertia of motion, you should write according to the question. you should give the explanation there. So no need to write question number 21. Question number 1 to 20, you have to write the answers in your notebook. And no need to write the answers which are given in the textbook directly. That is question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 16 and 17. In those cases, answers are given. So again, no need to copy into your notebook. Please write all the other question answers. And already I told you, it's not compulsory to copy the question. If you write the exact page number, then exercise 3B and question number, that is okay. Clear? So complete the notes, study the portion for the next Google Meet. Okay, so thank you children.